All right, everybody, thank you for attending this session. It's already the fifth crypto talk that we're doing right now. Time flies, but yeah, let's just, as usually, I prepared some stuff, some topics to discuss about, some charts to talk about. We're gonna have a look at both the bearish perspective and also the bullish perspective, just to have an open mind and to be, just to be open-minded and see what we can expect from the markets and how to profit during these times. So, we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 people in total taking this session, which is pretty good. It's gonna grow slowly and slowly. This session will also be recorded and put on YouTube, so don't worry about it, those who missed out. And let's just dive into the charts. Can everybody see my screen? All right, perfect. Oh, so what I'm gonna do this video is different. Like I removed the previous lines technical analysis that I did in the past session. So what I'm gonna do now is what I also do like from time to time is to just remove all the lines and to start with a clean chart and then draw the lines again from a different perspective. So from a new angle basically. So I'm gonna show you guys how I do it. It is one of the 1,000 ways you can do it. So we can just have a good and realistic perspective on what we can expect in the market, and just see if we can share different perspective with each other. So the first thing that I do is, like, I always draw a line from the previous all-time high. This is the first thing that I do. So I just press Alt H. My previous all-time high line always has the color yellow. So each line that has oh wait, my headset's being cut off. All right, it's working again. So each line that is drawn in my charts have a different color, and each color has a meaning. So I'm gonna teach you guys how I do it. So this is the first thing, and this is also like a big support line that has been forming and being respected since 2020. So I'm gonna make this a little bit thicker. Let's make it 2. And then another strong support line that I want to draw is over here. Something like this. I'm going to make this smaller. Oh. So, and then we have, of course, we have the all-time high, which is, I'm going to draw like this. And then we're just bouncing between these two lines. So we have a big support line over here and a big resistance line over here. So, what is also something that I can draw is this line, of course. We're slowly forming a big falling wedge pattern, a bigger time frame. If you can see over here, this is what I see. And yeah, what I can see is, like, we're consolidating at this price levels. The price level between like 28K and 32K, we're bouncing between those lines. And this is also one of the reasons that we've been bouncing around this price ranges back in 2021 at May and at the beginning of this year, and that has been holding a strong support. What I'm expecting is, like, there's still plenty of room to go down, as we can see looking at the previous all-time high before we test that one out and then move up to new highs. We've also shared, like, the charts in the previous session that 18K is also a good bottom signal for the price to go down, so we can still make a little bit more lower lows and consolidate, and then around I think around October, November, December, that is the moment where we're going to start to bounce and make a good reversal to test the previous all-time highs and the upcoming years. So for the indicators, I always use these 3 indicators. First of all, the RSI, then the stochastic RSI, and then the MACD. I always look at the chart from a weekly perspective first. Longer time frame is king in technical analysis. That's what I do. And also, one of the things that I want to mention is, like, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 red weekly candles, and we actually broke it the last week. So hopefully this market this week we're gonna we still have like 2 days to go before this weekend candle close. Hopefully this one is gonna turn out to be green again. Some charts that I have seen on Twitter indicated that this closing candle form that has been forming on the weekly time frame is a reverse hammer. What is it called? Hammer candle. and that is an indication that the market's going to bounce. That is also one of the technicals that you can use. You can also look at the RSI. Looking at the RSI from the previous cycle, from the previous cycles, we can see that the reversal RSI level for the COVID crash was around, let's see, it was around 33 RSI, and we're also sitting at this level. This is also an indicator that we might bounce, or we still have another lower level to go, which is around 28 RSI, and then we can expect new, expect movement, sideways movements, and then make a little bit choppy, and then retest the previous all-time highs. That is my expectations. But for now, it's going to be a slow market. During this market, the only thing that you got to do is like focus on coins that are very cheap, that have strong fundamentals. So during these times, we built a portfolio when the markets are going to rebound. All right, so the stochastic RSI is looking for a reversal, hopefully, looking at the previous crashes, and also the MACD looks really bullish for a reversal. If you look over here at the momentum, looks pretty strong, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, August, September, October, November, December. Huh? No, I'm just doing the TA right now with you guys for the clean sheet. So this is basically how I analyze the chart. So it's not rocket science, just basically drawing some lines, reading some indicators, and also looking at the macro perspective on the market. That's what I'm doing. So let's just jump into the tweets that I've gathered for all of you guys. We're gonna go back to Stock Money Lizards on Twitter. I'm gonna read it out for you guys. Intermarket analysis: Bitcoin and stock market S&P hand in hand. Commodities and 30 years use treasury bonds at crisis levels. Strong hands are buying right now. So if we look at the S&P 500 and the Bitcoin chart, we can clearly see that it's correlated with one another. And also at the commodities bonds level, this is a good indication for all of us to build our portfolio before the market's gonna make another bounce and create new all-time highs, hopefully in the future. So always what you got to do is, like, when you look at an asset, always look at different markets as well, because other markets sometimes are leading other markets as well. Like in the past, I've seen that, for example, Ethereum was one of the leading indicators where Bitcoin is going to go, because Ethereum was a little bit, not completely, but a little bit decoupled when it comes to the market analysis. And that is sometimes something that I learned is you also have to look at different markets as well, because different markets have also an impact on the crypto market. Everything is correlated with one another, so it is very important as a trader, as an investor, to have an open mind and look at different perspective on the market and what is happening around us. So that's why it's very important to read the news and also think ahead of how the majority will behave when this news is coming out on the market, and this is how you profit from it. So that is one chart. So this chart is basically indicating that a slowly reversal, that we most likely bottomed out. I personally still think that we can still go to 18K to test. Yeah, 18K, that is something that I'm looking for as well. And also another thing that we should not forget is like a relief rally for Bitcoin. So a relief rally will probably be up to 37K. Something like that, 36 to 37K. That is a relief rally for us to go even lower. So that is also still in the charts. So when the Bitcoin price bounces, don't be too over bullish. I'm personally gonna be bullish again when we are gonna break, like, when we break this level, like 41 level, and hold this as a strong support. That's the moment I'm gonna turn bullish again. But overall now, I'm just scooping up DCA and dollar cost averaging in, and just building on my portfolio for the next leg up. All right, from TA analysis, 5 times out of 5, this was followed by a Bitcoin macro bull run, where we reached the 6th time at the same level. It's up to you to conclude. This indicator is called the weekly SPX stochastic indicator. So every time we reach this level, 0.75, there's an indicator that the bottom is in and that the market is slowly gonna bounce up So it can. So the previous bounce, the previous rally started around New Year's, so November, December, so the last quarter of this year, and that's what I'm expecting as well. So we're gonna have a lot of sideways movement, perhaps swing around 46k to 30k, something like that, like a crab market, like we've seen in the previous cycle, and then we're gonna make another rally that's coming up. That's my expectation. All right, let's see, this was this one. Okay. Also, another chart, every time the number of new news articles talking about Bitcoin bear market rally reaches a new all-time high, it was the beginning of a bull run. So basically what it's telling is like when the news is massively talking about the bear market on the Bitcoin, that is the moment when the markets tend to go, tend to do the opposite. Because it's like basically what I've experienced in the past 3 years in the crypto market. It's like, we as a trader, we need to have the reverse mentality. So when the majority is going to be bullish, it's our time to take some profits on our portfolio and our investments. And when the majority is going to flip bearish, that is the moment when we start to buy in and build a portfolio for the market rebound. Because this move, what we see over here, this is basically formed by retailers. They are FOMOing into news articles, and they're just basically getting manipulated on an emotional level, and so the rich ones can take the profits and just get more money. So news articles reaching new all-time highs, talking about the Bitcoin bear market. This is probably a good indicator for us as well to be aware of, that the market can slowly gonna recover and rebounds. So keep that in mind as well. All right, are you ready for a 2-year bull run on the Bitcoin? So looking at this chart, we can see that this technical analysis guy, he divided this chart into sections. We have the red, we have the yellow, and the green one. And then we have a 2-year bull run that's coming up. It's going to be forming slowly. So up to the next 2 years, that's when the next halving is going to take place as well. When is the next halving? Next Bitcoin halving effect. It's in 2024. Let's see if we can find an exact date. We don't. But it's going to happen in 2024. Okay, it's going to happen on March 2nd, 2024. Okay, and also another thing that I want to point out to you guys is, this is what I already made. I'm going to remove all these lines for you guys, and then show you this one. So every yellow line that I drew in this, every vertical yellow line that I drew in this chart, basically indicated when the next Bitcoin halving took place. So every time when we see this yellow line has been formed, let me just close it, we can see that a new rally is forming. So we have a bull run, then we have a bear market, you know, the market's going sideways, it's going choppy market, and then the new halving took place back in 2012. And then after the halving, the market started to move up. And then we have a bull market with a slightly correction, and then we have the last leg up of the bull market, and then a long bear market, and then the next halving took place in 2016. And every time when the halving takes place, it is a good time for Bitcoin to make new all-time highs. Why? Because at the halving effect, the reward for each Bitcoin is going to get reduced by 50%. So the current reward is now 6.25 Bitcoin per block. So the miners will get 3.12 and a half for in 2024, which means it's going to be more scarce. And if more people is going to adopt Bitcoin, it means that the demand is increasing, but the supply is decreasing, which means that the price is going to increase. And that's what we see in this chart as well. So a good indication for us right now is to draw another line. I'm going to do that right now. Over here, let me open this map. And then it's going to be, excuse me. It's this one. And the halving is going to take place March 2nd, 2024. So we could just go to 2024 and March 2nd. Let's just zoom in a little bit. And then let me grab the tool. Somewhere around here. Let me zoom in a little bit more. And then just replace this Where is it? Ooh. It's over here. Somewhere around here, okay? It's March 4. So what we got to do now is we just got to we just have to look at the previous cycles, and we can see at the previous cycles a good moment to buy and build up your portfolio is during the bear market. So now currently we are let's just draw from over here to here, and like that, and let's make this one red. Let's give this a red color. Yeah. So a good moment for us to have a clear perspective is to build up our portfolio during this time. So every time, the millionaires are actually made during the bear market, when the market's going to correct itself, when the market is going to crash, and basically it's going to go sideways. That's the moment when we should build our portfolio before the next halving is going to take place, because after each halving we can see that the market's going to bounce. That's the exact thing that we're going to do right now. So patience, and yeah, have a lot of patience, guys. We need to work till we are 67 years old, till we retire anyway. So it's very good to have Bitcoin in your portfolio as a retirement as well. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put these two. I'm gonna put them in here as well. Perfect. All right. So, and the reward is gonna be not 6.25, but it's gonna be 3.12 and a half. Just imagine what the price of Bitcoin is gonna be. It's gonna reach at least 100K, without a doubt. Like, looking at, you know, how scarce Bitcoin is gonna become in the future. There's not enough Bitcoin for everybody. So, okay, let's just continue. So yeah, the bull run's gonna last till 2025 before we reach the top. We have a lot of time to prepare and build a portfolio. Okay, this is another interesting tweet. Whenever the distance between the Bitcoin 111 moving average and the 300 moving average is big enough compared to the previous bull run distances, after a sufficient number of days since the last bearish cross, a macro bull run starts. These conditions are currently verified. So it is up to you to conclude what you believe or what not. So it's basically back in 2012. So I think the green line is the 111 moving average, and the yellow line is the 350 moving average. These are the two lines, and when the distance is long enough, it's basically measuring the same distance. That is the moment when the Bitcoin bottom is in, and then we're gonna make some slow moves, choppy movements to new all-time highs, hopefully in the future. And that is basically what it's indicating with this chart. Oh, it is over here. The Bitcoin price. Yeah, I was right. Okay, so let's see. US 10-year government bond yields look like they are ready to go down hard. So if you compare the price structure of the US year bond yields and the Bitcoin price back in 2017 and 18, we can see that it's most of the time forming the same structure. It's not completely one-on-one, of course, but it's basically indicating that US year bonds are going down, which is going to be bullish for Bitcoin. So hopefully this is going to play out, and we can see a rebound in the Bitcoin chart up to 39K. And yeah, be very skeptical when the relief rally is going to come up. So yeah, just keep an eye on this chart as well before you're going to put all your money into it. Only invest the money you're willing to lose, okay? That's the golden rule when it comes to investing. All right, so this is basically the bullish charts that I wanted to share with you guys. Do you guys have any questions so far, or anything else you want to share? If not, I'm just going to move up to the bearish charts. All right, then I'm just going to move to the bearish chart. So this is basically the indicator. I think it was made by, 100 trillion USD. It's probably a Dutch guy. This is basically Plan B's indicator, and we can see that the simple moving average It's not completely met with the Bitcoin current price. So we still have some movements, some room to go down even lower. This is the 20K level, as you can see in this chart, and this is the simple moving average. And we can still see that we still have plenty of room to go down even lower. So expect a price of Bitcoin coming closer to 20K and perhaps go even lower than 20K, 18K to scare the majority out for a quick rebound, for a V-shaped recovery, and then we're just gonna move up to hopefully new all-time highs. It's gonna take a lot of time. I think like till November, it's gonna be boring market. Honestly, it's gonna be very boring. But we gotta realize that the bull markets, the great projects that are doing well in the bull markets, they keep building in the bear market. So what we gotta do now is monitor NFT projects and crypto projects. Just follow them as well during this bear market, because if they're building, if they're delivering, if they're focusing on the future, on the long-term perspective, they're just going to keep doing what they've always been doing, especially in the bull and bear market. It doesn't matter what time they're in. They just keep building and delivering. And people are just going to jump into the coin when they heard positive news. They're not doing their due diligence. They're not reading into the white papers, following the project actively. They're just basically sheeps, like we discussed in the previous session. They're just following the crowd. And that's like something that we need to prevent this investor, because we want to maximize our profits. We got to be before the crowd's going to step in. So yeah, especially during the bear market, that's the moment when you can learn a lot. You learn more when you lose money than when you gain money. When you gain money, everybody's happy. But when you lose something, you have to reflect on yourself and gonna readjust your strategy. Okay, looking at the previous cycles, 2013, 2017, 2021, we can see there are 3 bubbles forming. We have a primary moving up, and then we have a secondary moving up. And we can see that the secondary resistance line is now moving up to approximately 180K or to 200K. So the next upcoming days and times is going to be very exciting. I'm really looking forward to the development of the projects, especially Bitcoin, and especially the world, what's going to happen with the world, because Bitcoin is not going to move up like out itself. It's not going to do that. Something must happen on a global level to make sure that Bitcoin is going to be mass adopted, and a lot of people are going to put their money into Bitcoin before it's going to make new all-time highs. So I'm really curious what's going to happen. With the current state that we're in right now, it doesn't look really well, with inflation going higher. The war with Ukraine and Russia, the Middle East have been waging war like I don't know for a decade. We also have what do we have more? We had the pandemic coming up. We also have a new virus that's coming up in the Netherlands, also in Belgium. I don't know what is happening with the world, but it doesn't look very well. But during these times when people are fearful, when people are saving their money, it is a good time to step into the market. It's basically what Rich Dad Poor Dad said. He said in a video that I've seen in the past days, he said like startups that are forming their companies and starting during crisis, those companies are tending to do very well when the market's going to recover. Because basically what they're doing is like a lot of people are now fearful. They're going to live differently. They're saving money. So they're going to look for services and products that are cheaper and efficient. So if there's no product, a product that is, living up to the standards, new standards now, you can basically create a product for them and basically make a lot of profit from this situation. So during times of crisis and panic and chaos, that's the moment when you can make a lot of money if you just stay sane and if you just stay realistic in the market and just look at what's happening. That's exactly what I did back in 2019. I saw a lot of stuff happening with the world, and that is the moment when I start to reflect and learn. And yeah, the past 3 years I've learned a lot, made a lot of money, but also lost a lot of money because I didn't took profits anyway, because I'm a long-term investor in crypto. That's how much confidence I have right now. So back in the days when Bitcoin is trading around 4K, I was still investing in crypto coins. So during these prices, I'm still in a profit. I'm still bullish. I'm not fearful at all. I'm super optimistic about the development of crypto and the blockchain technology. So that's what I gotta tell you guys. I've made a lot of risks back in those days, and I would definitely do the same if I had the same money. Of course, the majority is already invested. So yeah, every salary that I get each month, I'm just gonna dollar cost average in. That's what I'm doing. And the markets, the numbers, they don't lie. If you look at the structure right now that we see on the charts, they don't lie. It's just showing you that we're in an uptrend, slowly and steady. Okay, this is also one of the YouTubers that I really respect. It's called his name is DIY Investing, Donovan Jolly. He basically showed me like what the correlation is with the human psychology and the market state. So we can see that a lot of people are angry, also especially in the NFT projects. They're depressed, they don't believe in the project anymore, and that is basically the way the emotional state of the majority is basically indicating where we are in the price charts. So if you look at Wall Street, oh, it's over here, cheat sheet. Let me just click on this one. Hopefully it's not going to be a bad website. All right, this one is pretty sharp. Yeah, I love it. Okay, so basically what it's indicating is like every stage of the market cycle is basically indicating how the human psychology is, how the people are going to behave. So it is very important as traders to also be aware of how the people behave in the market. And that is the moment when we can determine in what kind of state we're in currently in the market. And I can definitely see that a lot of people are depressed, they're angry, they don't believe in projects anymore, when it comes to NFT projects or in the crypto in general. And that is basically indicated we're in this stage. So, and after disbelief, what you see over here, we can also make a bull trap, and then we're going to slowly move up to new higher highs, which is going to indicate a hopeful stage. People are going to be hopeful about the market. They hear positive news. They see the prices going higher, and then they become optimistic, and then they become delusional at the end. That's what happened. So this is something that we need to keep in mind. And if we look at the current state of the Bitcoin price, we can see that it's going to be a lot of sideways sideways movement. Oh, this is basically, what is this coin actually? Let me see what this coin is. I don't see what coin this is, but it's some Kraken. It's a weekly time frame, and this is this Solana? Can somebody confirm this? Yosai, can you confirm this if this is Solana? I'm not sure. Yeah. Oh yeah, I see it. Okay, I see it. It's Stash is USD. So basically, what is doing what he is doing, he's looking at the price structure of an asset. He's not even looking too much into the fundamentals. He's looking at the price structure, and the price structure are basically indicating that and what kind of stage we're in and how you can profit during these cycles. So, and that is basically what he's teaching us in his YouTube channel. And that is what I like about him. He is also gonna be, he's looking at different assets and also looking at the market from different perspective, and basically the way the human behaves in the markets. And that's what I learned a lot from him. So yeah, shout out to him. All right, that is basically what I have for the bearish charts. We can still make some lower lows to 18K. So don't be too over bullish when it comes to the Bitcoin price. We are currently trading at a price of 29K. And just imagine, like back in the days, in the same year, in 2021, when Bitcoin was trading around 30K, people were very extreme. The greed and fear and greed index, if you look over here, at the same price level, it used to be at extreme greed. It was like at the beginning of 2021, okay? And now we're at the same price again, and the people are now very fearful. Like just realize how the human psychology works. It is like so absurd, like how the people can change so fast. And that is like, I'm just surprised, like how the human behaves with the current price of the market. Like when I see this, I'm super happy to buy a lot of coins such as Chainlink, Cardano, Ethereum, Polkadot, VeChain, Engine, these type of coins that I've been watching and following. When I see them at these prices, I'm super happy to buy them, If you don't like him, I buy him. Like I bought it when it was around $5 and even lower, and I didn't took any profit even when it went to $50. Sorry, I didn't took any profit. I just kept buying. I just keep dollar cost averaging in. So that's what I see. And this is also like something that I wanted to point out to you guys is like when we look at Chainlink, we can see that this support line has been very highly respected. We're still trading in this box zone that I drew. So hopefully Chainlink's gonna find a great support at this level and gonna make some new bounces up ahead. And hopefully one of the altcoins is gonna lead the crypto market and point at the direction that we're going in. So yeah, this is a great buy zone, and especially when I look at Bitcoin, 30K level is a great buy zone as well to dollar cost averaging. So don't be fooled by what you hear in the media. All right, let's move up to some news articles. Let's see what the centralized institution, let's see what kind of information they want to feed us on and to basically mislead us. We have Altcoin Daily. We have VeChain has announced a $100 million sponsorship with UFC, you know, the fighting sport when it comes to MMA. It's just basically to promote their services. VeChain is a token that is highly focused on supply chain management. So basically when a product is going from point A to point C, every chain, every stage of the whole journey when it comes to, for example, the temperature of the product, when it comes to food, clothing, computer chips, and so on, they are putting RFID chips into the products. And basically with this product, you can determine what the temperature is of the product. You can derive a lot of data along the way when this product is being shipped. So that is what VeChain is focusing on. It's focusing on supply chain management and putting a lot of data on the blockchain so it can track all of this information automatically and so on. So that's why I believe in VeChain a lot, and they have a lot of upside potential in the future. And now with this move that they're doing, you know, raising awareness of their services with UFC, the majority, everybody that I know in my life, they are aware of UFC. You know, they know it's a fighting MMA or whatever. So we can see a lot of eyes, new eyes looking at the coin, and hopefully it's gonna be very, positive for them. Let's see. The United States would be better off if Bitcoin became the world reserve currency. This is done by a foundation for research on equal opportunity. So hopefully Bitcoin is going to be a world reserve currency because it's limited, it's scarce, and there's no centralized organization that's controlling it. So yeah, I think many countries will hold Bitcoin in the future. Definitely, we already had El Salvador, Najib, the president of El Salvador. He had a meeting with 44 states, presidents, if I'm not wrong, or countries, talking about Bitcoin. So just imagine what it will do in the future. A lot of companies started to accept Bitcoin anyway. So expect a lot of Bitcoin as an asset being put in the balance sheets of a lot of companies, just like Tesla did. Okay, Bloomberg. Senior ETF analyst Grayscale is hiring top former United States government lawyers. Means they might sue the SEC if its Bitcoin's ETF is denied. So hopefully we can get some good drama going on. Hopefully they're not going to deny the ETF, Bitcoin ETFs. Hopefully it's going to get approved. If not, they're just going to fight it off with a lawsuit. And if this one gets approved, you know, the SEC loses it, it's going to be very positive for Bitcoin. All right, let's see. And this is something that this is a chart that I really like. I wanted to talk about this Bitcoin nodes around the world. So this chart basically indicates like how many nodes of Bitcoins are being formed. And we can see that the majority, I think the majority in another chart, another data is the majority of the miners that were in China. They're now moving up to the United States because China has been banning Bitcoin a lot, especially mining. And also with the pandemic going on, they just started to move to different countries and started to mine crypto there. And I also read in a news article back in 2019 or 20, I don't really remember, that Texas was building one of the largest crypto miners in Texas. And that's also one of the reasons why I was very bullish on Bitcoin and why I started to tell people like this is definitely the future. If they're preparing for this, it's going to be something very different. And also like what we have seen in the past years is that basically what I've seen in a documentary is that Discord, the program that we're using right now, is $1 billion company. They're having a lot of revenue coming in from Chinese companies also as well, because they want to buy data of consumers and their behaviors to predict what they're gonna do when it comes to politics and so on. Because everybody talks about anything on Discord, and when it comes to data, data is basically what I call the new oil or the new gold in the future, because a lot of companies, they live on data and they want to purchase a lot of data because this is the way they can estimate what their consumer is going to be, how the consumers are going to behave. And with the digital world that's coming up, we can see like the young generation, they're already in the smartphones. When you go to primary schools, they already have whiteboards. They have iPads. I didn't have that, you know? And that is what I see the world is going in. Like everybody is moving more digitally. We can get a lot of data from that, from the consumers and also the potential customers that is growing up. So they are targeting them as well. So this is one of the reasons that I wanted to point out, that data is going to be the new oil, and the new oil that's going to be to keep it active. Basically, what is the type of natural resource that you need is basically energy. So when it comes to energy, focus on companies that are focusing on green energy, because they're going to do really well when it comes to the future. That's what I personally believe in. And I also really believe in artificial intelligence and robotics. So these are basically the companies and crypto coins that I'm following around. And if they want to improve that, you know, improve data, use it better, such as VeChain, for example, I just put my money into that and will bet on the future of those coins. And yeah, basically that's what we've seen in the past years. Okay, Forbes, 30% of billionaires have direct or indirect investments in Bitcoin or crypto. So we can see like the billionaires that we've seen, they're basically one of the older generation. They're also slowly getting on into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and blockchain. It's something that you cannot avoid or deny, or it's definitely going to be the future, 100%. So they have to, otherwise they'll lose money on that. El Salvador approved the Bitcoin law 1 year ago today. So it was the 9th of June, 2021. And just, it was a good day. You know, yesterday when I was reading this and when I was reading the news article, I was just reflecting on how fast time flies. And like we have a state, like back in the days when I was calling people to Bitcoin in 2019, I told them to buy Bitcoin. They laughed, they make jokes about me and whatever. You know, I understand them, like it's a new technology. They don't have a lot of knowledge. But then in 2021, we saw El Salvador legalizing Bitcoin and accepting it as a currency. You know, when I was reading that, I was like, just think and reflect on how fast things are changing in this space right now. Like, you know, back in the days when I still was a little kid, we still had those big old fat monitors, big slow computers, making a lot of sounds when it was, you know, it was, when I would turn on my PC on when I was little, it almost sounded like an airplane that was taking off. I'm not gonna lie, it was loading so long, and we're now so fast. We have smart watches, we have drones right now, we have iPhones, phones that are really fast, we have smart TVs, we have vehicles that are operating very digitally. Just like curious where the future will go. Like time is going so fast. And also this is something that I want to point out. Bitcoin, I'm not going to read out this number. If somebody wants to do that, feel free to do it. But we can see that the hash rate has reached a new all-time high, which means that they have a lot of hope into Bitcoin. But basically what I want to indicate is also like when the hash rate of Bitcoin is increasing, means that a lot of people are mining Bitcoin. It will be harder to get the reward for Bitcoin, and it's going to be more difficult. So that's something that we got to realize as well. And I want to point out to all of you guys is that every time when those dumps were coming in, it was basically China banning Bitcoin all over and over again. It's like a relationship. You know, they break up, they get back together, they break up, they get back together. It's something like that. So all the news, you know, all those crashes back in the days, nobody's talking about it right now. and it's the same thing that is gonna happen with the markets. Everybody's talking about this right now, but nobody's talking about the COVID crash. Like, some people don't even remember it. They're just so focused on the current and the future, what's gonna hold, what's Bitcoin's gonna do in the future. So give it some time, and everybody will forget about it. European Central Bank confirms that it intends to raise its key interest rates by 25 basis points in July. Sai, maybe you want to point out what this is going to do with the markets. Yep. Uh-huh. Yeah. Uh-huh. Hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Oh, now they're raising interest rates like in next month. So yeah, I don't know much about how aggressive are they're going to be, but yeah, I guess we'll see.
All right. So basically, I was looking it up in internet as well. When the key rates increases, the cost of consumer borrowing increases, causing consumers to save more and spend less, therefore causing the economy contract. So yeah, people are going to be more afraid to spend their money to invest, and yeah, that is very logical to them. But me personally, I'm going to invest more of my money into these coins. I'm not afraid at all. I'm just gonna lower my living standards. Just gonna live peace, very cheap. That's what I'm gonna do, and then you're just gonna, you know, make a lot of money along the way. Just the way we did in 2019 and 20. Exciting times that are coming up. Okay, breaking. 93% of businesses accepting Bitcoin have seen revenue grow and brand perception improve. It is coming from Deloitte, this article. Deloitte is also one of the big companies here in the Netherlands. It's one of the big accounting firms as well. They're highly respected also on a global level. So yeah, I'm just surprised that they're also slowly accepting Bitcoin and not accepting, but diving more into this world of crypto and blockchain technology. So it's definitely going to be the future. All right, Justin, accepting Bitcoin and crypto is high priority for over 85% of US merchants, Deloitte survey. So very positive news. More adoptions coming in. Diesel rose to record $5.70, up by 74% from a year ago. So yeah, this is basically, the gas here in the Netherlands, especially it's on steroids. It's very very expensive. Like, how much do we pay per liter now?
It's around $12 a gallon in the Netherlands,
Really,
and it's around $10 a gallon in Belgium.
sheesh, it's insane. Like, I don't know what to say. When the last week when I was um filling my car, I saw an old lady, and she was just looking at me. She was like, I don't know what to do. She was like, there's a Dutch phrase that she said. She was like unbelievable. I cannot imagine. She was a woman, old lady that retired. She told me that everything is getting more expensive, but her retirement, the amount that she gets each month, it didn't get increased. So she's living very cheap as well. Very aware of what is happening with the market, and that is something when I was talking to her, I just realized, like, I cannot retire. I cannot rely on my retirement. I cannot do that. Like, it's better to invest my money in crypto and future technology than to build up my retirement. I'm not gonna do that because everybody's living more and more. Yeah, they're not living really well. The old people. This is something that I can tell you in the Netherlands. I've seen it like all around. Every time when I go somewhere, everybody's talking about the expensive prices. Nobody's talking about, yeah, it's insane. All right, dude. US Senator Cynthia Lummis having Bitcoin in a retirement portfolio is a wonderful idea. So, what I'm telling you guys, is put some money. Like in the Netherlands, you can retire when you reach the age of 67 years old. And I was asking myself, am I gonna work till I'm 67 years old? I don't know. I don't even know if I will reach that age. Maybe I'll die sooner. Hopefully not. Fingers crossed. But whatever. So I was asking myself, if I'm gonna work till I'm 67 years old, why don't I take the risk right now to invest my money that I'm willing to lose anyway, and get a chance and educate myself about crypto and blockchain, and yeah, make sure that I'm gonna retire at the age of 30 or even 40. Like I'm 29 now. Hopefully I'm gonna retire at 30, but we'll see. It was a goal that I have. If I didn't reach it, I'm gonna just delay it a little bit. Simple as that. So that's the reason why I did it. Why I took the risk, and it's going really well, and hopefully it's gonna change other lives as well. That is one of the reasons why I do this crypto podcast for all of us as well. Anyway, just to share experience and thoughts. So it's not, in life you never get out of your comfort zone unless you take risks, and during our school system, what we've been told and how they teach us, educate us, they don't want us to grow. They just want us to be employees, to get a job and pay taxes and so on. They don't teach us the ways to avoid taxes in a legal way. They don't do that. You have to learn it by yourself, and that's something that I'm kind of disappointed about this school system, and that is one of the reasons why I want to educate people about crypto and investing in general, to be financial literate. Like everybody can do mathematics, everybody can read numbers, but you have to understand how economy works, and that's how you can profit from it. And that is one of the reasons why Einstein said, compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earned it, and he who doesn't, he pays it. It's simple as that. That is the reason why you need to understand compound interest. Okay, Justin, European Union aims to have common key crypto legislation ready this month. So hopefully this month's going to be very volatile. We can see some, rallies coming up this month. Okay, this is something that was pointed out. I don't know if it's true. Maybe somebody can confirm it. Terra employees reportedly confirmed to the SEC that Do Kwon cashed out $80 million on a month prior to the Luna and UST crash. So he was aware of it. I don't know if somebody can confirm this or not, but when I read this type of stuff, it is like very concerning if I read that. When I was researching about Do Kwon, the way he behaves on Twitter, when he talks about cryptocurrencies, his own coin and whatever, he's like a douchebag. Like, honestly, karma is just biting him in the ass. But when I read this kind of stuff, I don't know if it's true, but it just like makes me angry. Like people are profiting from other people and then just doing this type of scams. It's painful. So, but we learn from this. Spend it on lawyers. Yeah, you definitely need to. All right. One of the articles here on the Netherlands, the European Central Bank wants to increase the interest rates in July for the first time in years. The current rate percentage is now negative 0.5. It's going to increase to 0.25%. And basically, okay. So basically what they're indicating is like the recovery from the corona crisis and the war in Ukraine, everything became more expensive. I personally believe that the inflation is now happening because of the pandemic. Of course, the war in Ukraine and Russia also has to do it, but the majority of it has been caused by the pandemic. Okay, basically, what do I have to discover here? So it's gonna be more expensive for the bankers to put their money to get their money from the European central banks. So this is gonna be something that we're gonna keep an eye on in July. In the month of July, it's gonna be the next month. So the upcoming month is gonna be very volatile. That's something that I can tell you guys. So just keep an eye on this. All right, let's talk about some NFTs. This is something of the project called Amikuni. one of the reasons why I'm so bullish about Amakuni is like I've been talking with the founders, the COO, I'm highly connected with them, and I've seen how they develop the project. Like the economy model that they're building is the same as the way Bitcoin works. So eventually their token's gonna be deflationary, and it's gonna increase in its price. And now they're developing the characters, which is gonna be 3D models. It's something that I want you guys to look and research the project. They have all the mathematics, all the formulas. They have it stated in the white paper, the way they want to go, and they also have like great innovation coming up when it comes to the play to earn system, and that is something that I really looking forward to, and hopefully they're going to succeed. I'm also invested in this project, and I learned a lot from them by helping them out as well. And definitely they have check this project out as well. It's very cheap as well. Let's see. When it comes to Project Cybergulls, they released their game footage called Troublepunk, and here is one of the videos that I want to share with you guys over here. This was at Hello NFT. They could showcase their gameplay of the game that they developed. So it's gonna be a competitive game, a fighting game. This is one of the game modes. And this is still alpha footage, by the way. It's not released yet. Hopefully it's gonna be released in July, at the end of July. So, and the reason why I love about Cybergulls is that basically what they have their NFTs, and you can just literally just recraft their characters. So you can, if you have two of those NFTs, you can just get the hair out of one of NFT and put it on the other NFT, and just make a whole unique character. And gather components that are really rare and make a new unique character and use it in game. You can also rent it out. They are also gonna share their tokenomics up in the upcoming months. It's gonna be June or July. I don't really remember the hard date. So yeah, definitely check them out as well. They're really undervalued. And yeah, what I've seen, like the whole process of their building, the minting experience, it was very unique. They did a lot of effort. They put a lot of effort behind the scene. And it's said like those projects, they don't get the recognition, and all the, I don't know, useless NFT projects, they get so much recognition. I don't know what's going on. This was a video gameplay. We've already seen that. Let's talk about some altcoins. Cardano seems to have a specific distinctive correction structure based on that it looks like the bottom is in and it already has started its uptrend. Likely other altcoins will follow suit soon. So this is something that I want to point out as well. Keep an eye on the altcoins, but because some of the altcoins are basically indicating what the next move is going to be of Bitcoin and other altcoins. So keep an eye on that as well. And Cardano, I'm super bullish about Cardano. They solve a lot of problems that Ethereum is facing nowadays when it comes to scaling problem. Hopefully the Ethereum merge of Robston is gonna succeed. We can expect some more scalability on the network. So keep an eye on this coin as well. I will have a video about Cardano coming up in the upcoming weeks. I don't know when I'm going to release it. It's almost done. It's 90% done. It's going to explain Cardano in 2 minutes. It's going to pinpoint the highlights, and it's going to explain it in a child's language what this coin is about. And yeah, basically that. So you don't have to do all the research yourself. All right, this is also something that we also discussed. UFC has a partnership with VeChain has a partnership with UFC, so we can expect that when UFC fights is going to happen in the future. Chainlink staking is going to happen. I think it was around September or the last quarter of this year. So I don't know if this is going to cause some FOMO, because a lot of people can benefit from Chainlink staking rewards. So keep an eye on this as well. Chainlink is definitely highly connected with the World Economic Forum. They are providing solution for the upcoming problems, for the problems that are happening in the crypto space. And that is something that I love about Chainlink. It's really undervalued. I'm not selling any Chainlink below $100 or even $1,000. I'm just gonna diamond hands like a portion of my Chainlink portfolio, like for the upcoming 10 years. Ethereum compared to the Bitcoin price structure. Let's see when did he tweeted this? He tweeted this 7th of June. Let's see what it is right now. And did we crash below it? Let's see. Was this one? 0.05. Okay, let's see. Oh no, we're still forming it. Okay. I don't know really what he sees in the chart, but potentially forming a falling wedge pattern. Yeah, it's just, to me, most likely it's gonna retest this support line and then make news moves to the upside. Okay, let's move up. Some reminders that I want to talk about with you guys is a doctor is making $195,000 a year, may seem wealthy on the outside, whereas a dishwasher is making $45K a year, may not. However, if the doctor spends $195K per year while the dishwasher only spends $20K, who is the wealthy one? It is not about how much you make, but it's how much you keep. And that is when it comes to crypto investing as well. I was making a lot of money with crypto back, when Bitcoin was trading around 60K, but I didn't take my profits. When you don't take your profit, it's not your money. So only talk about your profit when it's actually in your hand, okay? When it's in your hand or in your bank account, I don't care, then talk about it. Otherwise, say it's potential profits. Okay, a nice car and a big house are the old status symbols. The ultimate flex is freedom. Location, freedom, financial freedom, and the time freedom. So that is something that I want to point out. Is like having a lot of money is good in life, but if you don't have a bigger goal than the money that you have, it's going to be very depressing for you. So you always need to have a bigger goal than the amount of money that you have. So if you have $1 million, it's in your pocket. What are you going to do with it? Always have a bigger goal. And that is the beauty of being wealthy. You can do with your time what you want. So that is one of the reasons why I want to be wealthy, is so I can do bigger things, start our own company, provide people with jobs, make the world a better place. The more money you have, the bigger the challenges will be. So that is something that I'm really looking forward to. And they say a lot of multimillionaires, they said that like the journey to your first million is the most exciting and the most fun one. And after that, it becomes so easy to make multi-millions, and it's not going to be exciting anymore. So enjoy the ride, the bumpy, the tough ride, the tough journey to your first million. And don't rush it, because this is one of the most beautiful times as an investor in your life. It's the same thing when you were a student. Like I work full-time now. I miss the years when I was a student. The student years were one of the best years of my life. So don't rush it. Enjoy the ride, ups and downs. Okay, some coins that I want to talk about with you guys that I'm scooping up is Cardano, trading around 58 cents. Very cheap. One of the most active crypto projects on GitHub. It's open source. It's providing solutions, and if you contribute to the network, you get paid. It's that simple. Polkadot, definitely gonna be the future. Really looking forward to. The parachain's already launched. We're really looking forward to the future development of Polkadot. Definitely scoop this one up. The all-time high was $53, and it's now trading around $8. So definitely buy it, stake it. It's going to be very valuable in the future. Chainlink, as I discussed, don't sleep on this coin. Uniswap as well, it's providing a lot of solutions. It was trading, the all-time high was $44, even $45. It's now trading around $4, so you can 10x it if you want. So definitely buy this one as well. Hedera, one of the reasons why I want you to buy Hedera, just look at their website. They have big companies on board. They have Google, Boeing, they have the banks, LG, Deutsche Telekom, and they also are the third generation when it comes to crypto. They can handle 10,000 transactions per second. The average fee is very cheap, fraction of a dollar. transaction confirmations, like 3 to 5 seconds, and the energy usage per transaction is very, very low, so it's very sustainable. So definitely don't sleep on this coin. They also have a patent on their product, so it's very difficult to compete with them. This is something that I want to point out to you guys, and it's now trading around 8 cents. Don't sleep on this coin. Decentraland, why? Because digital land is going to be the future. A lot of the new generation, the younger generation, they live in the digital world. So a lot of big companies, they want to target their consumers, their potential customers in the metaverse. So they're going to buy digital land. So, and if you own a lot of land, you can rent it out to those big companies and make a living out of it. It's that simple. So it's something that you got to focus on. Sandbox as well, the same as Decentraland. Theta Network, it's basically, to summarize it, it's the YouTube but on blockchain. So all the videos that you upload, it's gonna be on the blockchain. You have your freedom, you can upload anything you want. And the all-time high was $14.05. And yeah, basically, don't sleep on this coin as well. Chiliz, it's penetrating the sports industry. So if you go to their website, Chiliz, I bought this one. This one was below 1 cent. I didn't buy a lot, by only $30, but it was still very profitable. They have official partnership with Galatasaray, with Barcelona, with AS Roma. They also have like esports team as official partners. They also have UFC on board. And basically, what you can do is like you can, if you're a big fan of Barcelona, you can buy Chiliz, and then you can, with the Chiliz you can swap it to let's go to Chiliz exchange. Then you can just swap Chiliz to any desired team that you're cheering for, and then you can get some benefits from it. All right, Engine Coin is also gaming, being owner of the gaming items that you play in the network, and also Cadena. Why Cadena? Because one of their founders, Will Martino, was recruited from his role as the tech lead for the SEC's cryptocurrency steering committee. So he has knowledge about how the SEC behaves. He has knowledge about the crypto in general, and Cadena is something definitely not to sleep on. So it's very highly unlikely that the SEC is coming after them, since they have one of the founders on their team as well. I don't have anything else to share, right? No. That was basically it for this session, everybody. It was a 1 hour session again. I want to thank you guys for attending this session. Does anybody has any questions before I wrap it up? Ooh, a lot of people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people in total. I'm super happy. I hope I can.
I can also take questions on PartyPunks or PartyFi if you guys have questions about that. I'm happy to answer anything.
Yeah, so if you have some questions about PartyPunks or PartyFi, we have some new juicy updates coming up, new alpha. You can redirect them to Tim and see what you can expect from this project as well. Anything else to add? Maybe you have seen a good NFT project or a good crypto coin that has been on your radar that you want to talk about.
Hello.
Hey.
Yeah, I was wondering because I kind of came pretty late. Will you guys be doing another like interview AMA like this, or another voice chat conference?
Yeah, so he does these every Friday, and they're awesome. He does a great job. This is the most turnout so far, and as you can tell, he's super knowledgeable in the space. The idea is like on PartyFinance, you know, you're creating parties and trying your best to get best ROI. And so we want to help you with some tools to do that. So Laga's been helping with that for a couple months now.
Okay, thanks. This was amazing, guys.
Yeah, sure. Super happy that you're here as well. Welcome. And then the reason why I'm doing this is so you guys can be very knowledgeable as well and see how I trade the market and what coins I'm buying. This is basically how I do it. I build my portfolio for the upcoming bull run, and you don't need like a guru trader or anything. You can just do it yourself. I did it myself as well. I didn't know anything about crypto like 3 years ago. All I did was just study, read white papers. It's like my type of porn, like reading white papers. I learned a lot from them. And basically just reflecting when you make a mistake and when you make big losses. That's the only thing that you got to do. And when it comes to great projects, just buy these coins that I just showed you, and you can make a lot of money. It's very simple. That's something that I want to focus on, is spreading knowledge about the crypto space. It's very easy. It's not difficult at all. It seems very complicated, but once you understand it and you understand human behavior and what the world is going into, then you can understand how easy it is to make money. It's like absurd. It's so easy. And I want you guys to be very independent as well, so you can trade on your own level with your own experience, because there are like 1,000 ways to trade the market. And if you believe that you have a great strategy, just create a party on the platform on PartyFinance and prove it. Prove it to the world that you're the best trader out there. And everything is going to be published on the blockchain, so you cannot mess with the numbers.
Smallby, thanks for asking a question. I'm going to award you whitelist for that. So thanks for being here.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. I will definitely stick around, see what happens. I love everything so far, and looks like I'm getting alpha. So, at the worst case, this is like a real good place to just like get a little more knowledgeable about the market overall.
Right, I'm super happy that you're here and that you actually can learn something from it, because we're not here only to make money. We're here also to there are new guys how to make money. You need to understand like how money works. And if you have like anything else to share, Smallby, Sai is also very knowledgeable when it comes to crypto sessions and asking questions. I don't know if you want to do a session in the future, Sai, the crypto talks. If you want to prepare some topics to talk about in the next session, I would really, really appreciate it, because you're also very knowledgeable. If you're open for that.
I mean, yeah, sure, I can do that. I was actually thinking about asking you. There was I don't remember when you talked about that, but at some point when you were talking about, I think it was the Bullish case. I might be wrong. For crypto, you showed a chart that had like the difficulty increase in the Bitcoin network, and I've been recently looking at the effect that Bitcoin miners have in general on Bitcoin as a whole. And I found something a bit surprising, and that looks kind of grim. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I don't know if I will be wrong. So yeah, that graph exactly. So you notice that like sudden drop in hash rate and difficulty that actually didn't coincide with the drop in Bitcoin. So the steep drop that happened for like that got Bitcoin to like 30K or something, that happened around May, but this happened basically in July. So what basically happened is that miners, so there were miners getting into the network. So the network is basically programmed so that a new block is mined every 10 minutes. So if there are a ton of people in the network and blocks would be mined quicker than 10 minutes, then they increase the difficulty. The reverse is also true. So if less people are in the network mining and the blocks would take longer than 10 minutes, they lower the difficulty. So that blocks usually stay within those 10-minute ranges. So what happens is that if difficulty increases but price drops, that puts a lot of pressure onto mining operations. And the weak mining operations actually need to sell Bitcoin. And if the drop is big enough, even like bigger operations actually need to liquidate some of their holdings. And we kind of haven't seen it yet. So you see that difficulty has increased non-stop since July last year.
Mm-hmm.
And price has been kind of dropping since November. And I've seen that also in other drops. For example, in 2018, you see like there's actually some free statistics that you can find in, I believe that the page is called Glassnode. Yeah, I think it's called Glassnode. Mm-hmm. That talk about this. Basically, you have like, there's like a steep decline in like a couple of weeks in 2018 that actually was the bottom. And basically coinciding with that, there was like a huge reduction in difficulty and hash rate, because a lot of miners were just like, they couldn't keep up their operations. We haven't seen that yet, and I'm kind of expecting that in order for us to see a bottom in Bitcoin, we would have to see some kind of drop in difficulty. Because like this is just, mining is more difficult, so less, it's harder to mine Bitcoin, and also Bitcoin is less valuable. So it just puts a lot of strain into mining operations. So yeah, that's my 2 cents for now.
Yeah.
I mean,
Thanks for
definitely
letting us-
up. Oh, sure. Definitely up. If you want me to prepare some topics for next week,
Right.
I can
Perfect.
definitely do that.
Definitely. Super happy that you're willing to take it on. We do this like every Friday, 9 p.m. CET. Gonna put an announcement in Discord.
9 p.m. for me too.
Yeah. So if you would like to talk about some topics and talk about some charts or whatever, just feel free, and I'll give you the floor. It's for you, man. And then we have more people talking about the charts, than it's just coming from me, because I'm just one person that has one perspective. I'm trying to have an open mind when it comes to investing. I don't want to be over bullish or over bearish. Like that's one of the mistakes that I made in the past 2 years. I was super over bullish, and when I was looking.
Oh yeah, believe me, we've all made that mistake.
Yeah,
if you entered in the bull market, we've all made that mistake.
Yeah, and I was just so tunnel visioned in those bullish charts that I was calling for 280K targets and so on. When I was,
Bitcoin is going to go to 100K. There's no way this is the top, right?
Exactly. And that is like one of the hardest lessons that I learned the hard way. It's like you need to have an open mind when it comes to investing and respect those people who are very bearish when everybody's bullish. So that is something that I learned the hard way, and I'm trying to be open-minded. And that's one of the reasons why I like this kind of session, because if people like you are jumping into the space and showing your perspective as the complete opposite of what I'm showing, then I can learn a lot from you as well. And that is, what I like about crypto in general, because like 1,000 perspectives on the market, a lot of charts.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've kind of surrounded myself with people that I trust to kind of learn how the market works, and these people tend to have like, I wouldn't say a bearish view, but it's like they want to be safe. Better safe than sorry. Yeah. So they're not the kind of people that will like overhype. Oh yes, we're going to like 100,000K, and Cardano is going to go to $3,000 by the end of the year or something. It's like, no, they're just not going to do that. So I'd rather have like the perspective of worst case scenario in bearish case, and like best case scenario in bullish case, and then having not playing out, but at least being prepared for it. Like for example, being prepared if we go to the 300-week moving average, which would be admittedly pretty low. I think it's at like 15K at the moment in Bitcoin, and seeing how Ethereum Bitcoin is currently, if that happened, that would be pretty bad news for Ethereum.
Yeah.
So it's just I think it's good to be prepared for these kinds of things, because if you waste, like, when bear markets end, it's like everything is on sale. So if you got money laying around, you haven't lost all of your money trying to chase bottoms with heavy quotation marks, you can actually make an incredible amount of money just from actually buying the bottom, or buying pretty close to the bottom.
Exactly, yeah. True, like,
so yeah.
I totally agree with you. You need to have a realistic perspective on the markets, because nobody can predict the markets. Everybody tries to do their best. And afterwards, at the end, every summary of every TA video is basically the market's going up, sideways, or down. It's basically like that.
Yeah,
everybody tries his best to predict the market.
Yeah, and also there's like a pretty big misconception, because like sometimes people look at investors when they want to trade, and like there are some skills that overlap, but they're not the same thing. Like an investor probably wouldn't trade well if that person only had like investor skills and not trader skills. And a trader would probably not invest that well if he only had trader skills, because like there are two different types of skills. Like when you're an investor, there are these macro things that you have to kind of look at from a fundamental perspective, and then like some price action. Trading doesn't really work like that. I mean, it can, depending on the time frame, but you know, if you're like a 5-minute chart or like swing trader or scalper, it's just not the same thing. And so you'll get like these people that say, you know, I'm very bullish on, I don't know, Cardano, for example. There's this one guy that I found when I was starting out in 2021, and he was like extremely bullish on Cardano, like so bullish. And he was like pumping, I don't know, 3 to 4 videos every week. And he always started, like, first half of the video would be him talking about news regarding Cardano, and like growth in the ecosystem, and how it's open in Africa, how it's cooperating with this government, and how it's doing this and doing that, and how it's, you know, the testnet's going along, and all of this. And, you know, I don't think it's bad to have these kinds of people, but if you're turning to those people when you're down 30% on your Cardano, or maybe even more than that, since, you know, all-time high was $3, now we're at like 60 cents, so like more like 80% for some people. 80% down, and you're like, this is going up short term, and it's like, no, it's not. You're looking at the wrong person. Within probably 3 to 5 to 10 years, are you going to be positive? I would say most likely yes. If Cardano survives, I think it's probably going to be well above $3 in 5 to 10 years, but not now.
No.
So, you know, it's kind of dangerous sometimes, because obviously people would pick based on their emotions. They will pick what they want to hear.
Yeah.
And that's really dangerous with money, because like the market doesn't care about what you feel.
Exactly.
You feel like, no, I want it to go up, and it's like, well, shame, FOMC dropped, bad news.
Yeah, exactly.
Stocks are down, so crypto is too.
It's merciless. Really.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, you know, it does kind of work following a series of rules, and it does definitely get affected by market emotions. But like, there's just hope of, I may have done a bad decision and I don't have proper risk management. I hope it turns around. That's just like, you have to work on your strategy. Like, that's not a good strategy. If you go all in every single trade, you're just hoping that it goes green every time, you know, you're gonna get liquidated.
Yeah, definitely.
Sooner or later.
Sheesh, I got liquidated a lot.
Oh boy. I didn't get liquidated, but I definitely got back to the starting point from pretty decent returns. And yeah, it's really frustrating.
Right. Well, yeah, only thing we can do is like learn from it, you know. We can't change the past, but we can change the future.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
So-
it's good to learn from it. So,
Exactly.
you know,
Yeah.
you could like be rash on yourself, like say, oh my god, I was so dumb, and it's like, yeah, you were dumb, but like you didn't know any better. So like, should you be like really that hard on yourself? Like, you started up in 2021 when there were like 1,000 projects that were just like coming out of thin air. It was copy pasted freaking Ethereum code with 3 changes, and they were getting like so much funding and so much money and so much utility. You don't know how to distinguish a good project from a bad project. Like, in that environment, where it's so hard to find good stuff, can you really blame yourself for not knowing anything and making mistakes along the way? Like, I don't think that's fair.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's up to you if you want to try to learn from them, or just like say, this was a bad experience, I don't want to touch it again. I've actually had some people that are having this mentality now with NFTs. In some NFT servers, they're like, I mean, I feel like pretty hopeless, you know, like market's not looking good, like the server's kind of dead, there's not much activity, I'm just in the server, I might just like get out of NFTs for good. And it's like, you know, it makes sense that people think that, but, you know, it's like not their fault. Like, sure, they discovered NFTs in 2021 or 2022, okay. Maybe they lost money. actually a lot of people lost money. Maybe they made some money and then they lost it, or maybe they actually are on the positive, but they just don't feel it anymore. But you know, you can always learn from that. And there is like this saying that goes that timing the market beats timing the market.
Exactly.
And I
Yeah.
think that's
Yeah,
absolutely true. I
100%.
think that's so true.
Yeah.
Like, it gives you so much perspective and experience. Like, people that have lived through 2017, for example, I haven't lived through 2017 and 2018. I just know that it happened because of the people I follow.
True.
But I reckon that people that live through that are much better prepared for whatever we're currently in.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, you know, everything's bleeding, alts will bleed against Bitcoin and such. And it's like, some people are like, I mean, I've seen that before. It's not bad. I mean, it's bad, yes, but like, we'll come out of the other side. It just takes time. It's fine. Just don't do dumb stuff and don't go all in right now on some altcoin that you really like. Like, wait. It's most likely going to be cheaper in a couple of months.
100%. Yeah.
So yeah, that got kind of long, but yeah.
That's okay.
That's where I
I love
stand.
it. But let's definitely do, like, if you're open for it, the next session, there you're also gonna prepare your stuff, your charts, and yeah, inform
Sure,
us about it.
absolutely. I can do that.
Yeah, let's definitely do that. All right. So for now, I'm gonna. I want to thank you all for attending this session, and the recording will be uploaded on YouTube. So I'll see you guys next week then. Thank you so much.